Firefly is aiming to serve the growing small satellite launch market. So, Tom, talk to us about how Firefly compares to a SpaceX, to Virgin Orbit, to Rocket Lab, the other players out there.
Yeah, thanks, Emily. Thanks for having me. I'm talking to you here from the National Space Symposium today, where a lot of the new entrants and some of the heritage companies are here today. So how do we compare to SpaceX and the others? You know, I would characterize SpaceX as a first-generation new space company that's really trying to find new ways to get to space more efficiently and at a lower cost. Firefly and some of these other companies you mentioned are second-generation companies. So some of the people that worked in the first-generation companies have struck out on their own and started their own companies. And in the same vein as SpaceX, are trying to really be transformative in opening up access to space.
Now, you've got your first launch coming up in a couple of weeks. Talk to us about what we're going to see there, and are you ready?
Yeah, we're super excited. We've been at this about 4 years. The Alpha rocket is on the launch pad, ready for its inaugural launch just last week. We had a static fire test where we held the rocket down for 15 seconds and we let it run to make sure all the systems were ready to go, and it went flawlessly. So we're really excited about launch on September 2nd. We're going to let her go, and we think we're going to get it to orbit in just a few minutes afterwards.
So then talk to us about the vision beyond this. Obviously, this is a whole new economy that's just kicking off. I mean, this is your first launch. You won a critical lunar lander contract from NASA to take 10 payloads to space in 2023. You know, paint the bigger picture, the bigger vision here.
Yeah, the bigger picture is space is clearly open for business now. So it's not just about exciting technology, it's about exciting business opportunities. So Firefly, what's unique about us is we're not just a rocket company. We are an end-to-end space transportation company, which means we can get you to space on rockets, but then we have other things like our lunar lander program that can allow you to land on other celestial bodies. So in doing that end-to-end mission, we expect to capture the large parts of the space transportation market in general. So just really exciting time to be involved, and Firefly is really excited about the full spectrum of space transportation offerings that we have.
Meantime, Blue Origin and SpaceX are in this argument over their lunar lander and NASA's contract. You know, what's your take on this, and how do these kind of issues impact the momentum in the space?
Yeah, momentum is a key word. Momentum's important. You know, we're part of the Artemis program. We're very proud to be part of that. And we really want to see things move along as quickly as they can. NASA's been moving the program along very quickly. Now in this recent challenge that we've had with this contract, the GAO responded very quickly in trying to resolve the problem. And so we're just hopeful that in the next stage, and if this goes to court, that it will also be resolved very quickly so the whole Artemis program can move forward as briskly as America needs it to.
And speaking of Blue Origin, we were just down in Van Horn, Texas, covering Jeff Bezos's launch into space. Meantime, we've noticed the number of Blue Origin engineers are actually leaving the company. One just became your COO. What's the signal there? Why is that happening?
I think there's a lot of movement within the industry. You know, if you look at me, for example, I was an early SpaceX employee. I was also a Virgin employee. I helped engineer that really cool Launcher One rocket that you showed in the video earlier. I also worked at Blue Origin. So there's just a lot of movement around in these second generation companies, and people are just finding roles where they fit best within these different companies. So I would just say that, you know, we all feel like we're part of a larger new space movement, and it's not just about one company. So I think you'll see a lot of movement between the companies, the people that are just have that mindset.
Now, you actually worked at Blue Origin, SpaceX, and Virgin Galactic before starting Firefly. So I'd love to know, how would you compare them as places to work, given that there is such competition for talent?
Yeah, they all have their own unique bents, and it really has to do with the leadership of the different companies. You know, I think Elon Musk has a slightly different vision than Jeff Bezos or Richard Branson has. So that leadership brings a different vision for each of those companies. Now, Firefly, what we're setting out to do is to really build a company that's as impactful and transformative as SpaceX was. And that's what I set out to do here at Firefly. And in the last 4 years, we've made a lot of progress along those lines.
So what are the biggest milestones coming up in the space race from Firefly or others that you're watching, that we should be watching, that are going to define the next decades of space travel and exploration?
So I think you're just going to see a lot of launches coming out of companies like Virgin Orbit and Relativity and Firefly. So this is going to be the advent of widespread availability of space launch and space access. So that's going to be really exciting to see all these new entrants come into the field. But other big developments I see is SpaceX's Starship. It's just such a huge vehicle, and it can be so transformative in moving the large-scale infrastructure that we need to do the most ambitious human exploration program. So I'm personally really excited to see Starship go in the next couple of years.